Hello, everybody. I'm Brian with Eruditio, and I'm here with Job Plans Made Simple. Today, we're sharing the Corrective job plan template that we provide. You probably just downloaded it from our website, and we're going to do an example. I'm going to show you an example of building a peanut butter sandwich, very similar to what we do in the classroom, and use that as a way to show you how this template works. Okay, so first of all, if you want to insert your company logo and header up in the top, just double click, add your stuff up there. We're going to replace the title with our title of our work order. And then the first page is for collecting your asset information and the job information. You can make this yours, modify it, replace it with everything you have, that's fine, or use what we're proposing. But don't touch this little box right here, the task descriptions. I want to leave that. I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. And before we get started, over here on the left, we have the peanut butter sandwich exercise. This is the sticky note exercise that we put on the wall that you probably did in the classroom. And so sticky notes are a really great way to do this and organize your thoughts. But you can see here, we've already got our project, which is catering lunch. We've got our work order, which is build a peanut butter sandwich. And then we've got 3 tasks: prepare the work, build the sandwich, clean up, and of course we have our job steps with our warnings and cautions and our notes and performance standards and everything that we need during this work order. So on the work order itself, I'll have to introduce you to 2 things. First one is the paragraph show hide button. This shows you the invisible characters. If you're not familiar with what goes on in Microsoft Word, you can see here there's a page break, and here we're starting on a new page, and that's really all I need to know. But if you ever get confused about what is hidden, what characters are hidden, that paragraph button shows it to you. The other thing I want to show you is the styles library. We've customized the styles library to match how you're going to build this work order. So we have cautions, performance standards, warnings, and you notice that as I'm hovering over them, it's changing that line down there where my cursor is, resources and task time. But then we've got the tasks, the steps, and the detailed instructions. So I'm going to show you how to use these together to make our peanut butter sandwich. And of course, we already have the work order title, build a peanut butter sandwich. We've also made this in a way that it will prompt you for the next thing. So we're going to do minimal amount of time formatting. Most of our time is going to be spent just dumping what the work we've done into this format. So the first task is prepare the work. Now, I don't like how it looks, so I'm going to the styles library and I'm going to select task, and it automatically numbers for me. I hit enter. It's going to ask me for resources. If you don't know which one this is and you hit styles library, you notice that there's a little border around the resources box because it's asking me for resources. So I'm going to say this takes 1 sandwich maker. If I hit enter, it prompts me for the time. It's going to take 0.2 hours. Perfect. If I hit enter again, it automatically prompts me for the step. So I have clean workspace. And I'm one of those guys, maybe I'm a little organized. I like to do things in a certain order. So when it prompts me for the detailed instructions, I'm not ready for the detailed instructions. I want to add my next step, which is gather supplies. But gather supplies is supposed to be a step, not a detailed instruction. So I just hover over and click on step. Now it's a step, and I'm going to do the same thing with gather tools. And I don't like that. I want it to be a step instead of a detailed instruction. So I just hover and click, and I'm done. All right. Now, before I go further, let's finish out this particular task, which is prepare the work. First thing on clean the workspace, I have a caution. Before I clean the workspace, I want to make sure that I don't end up messing up this caution. So let's hit enter once and let's go and put this in there, caution. All right, failure to clean the workspace could result in product contamination. And the styles library makes it easy. Just click on caution. There it is. And I've still got my first task here, which is, or my first job step, which is clean the workspace. So we make it pretty easy. Now, remember when you're doing cautions and warnings, remember to tell the technician what to do and why to do it, right? So we're going to clean the workspace, but failure to clean the workspace could result in product contamination, but I didn't tell him what to do. That makes sense. So I'm telling him what to do, but we all know that sometimes we tell our kids not to touch the stove, but they do it anyway. We're going to tell them why. Why do we have to do this? Okay. Next one is see, clean the workspace. So when we get into it, clean the workspace, we hit enter. It prompts us for the detailed instructions. Guys, this is where you as the planner or you as the technical expert can now give all the instructions. And we don't do this in the classroom. We don't do this in the sticky note exercise, but this is where you can do this. So let's grab. Okay, so we're going to give all those instructions on exactly what to do. Grab the bottle of bleach, spray the tabletop liberally, and wipe dry with a paper towel. Perfect. Okay. Now, next one is gather supplies. And in gather supplies, we can do the same thing. We can do the same thing. We can add our detailed instructions. And as we do, we have a note. All right. Make sure the peanut butter jar has at least 2 tablespoons in it. And again, this is a note. This is not a step. So I'm going to come over here and find note. Click on it. Now, what was that step for? It pantry. All right, there we go. Got the supplies. And also probably want to get bread, right? Maybe I have another note. Perfect. And let's make that a note. Real easy with the styles library. Perfect. And then we got gather tools. But again, we have a warning. We like warnings ahead of time. So warning. Okay. And styles library, that's a warning. All right, gather tools, and we would insert here with everything that we need tools wise. And of course, if you were in the class and said, well, do we get a plastic knife or do we get a metal knife? Get a metal knife. In this case, what other tools do we need? We need get paper towels, get a plastic Ziploc bag, and whatever other tools that you've determined need to go into this. Okay, perfect. So first step is done. The first task is done. Now we've got the second task, which is build the sandwich. And again, I want that to be a task, not a step. And then the third task is clean up. As you can see, it wants me to give it its resources, but we want a task. So we're going to say build the sandwich and clean up. Now I won't go through entering all the rest of the steps and all the rest of the things. You understand how this works. Guys, when you're done, come up here, click on the table for task descriptions, click update table, and sometimes you might need to click on update the entire table, right? But it's going to put in your tasks in here so that as you see the header of the work order, you see a list of all the tasks that are associated with this as part of the header before you get inside, and you know exactly which page to go to, especially for more complicated work. All right, so guys, if you like this, if this is helpful to you, please pass it on to someone else. If you would like to join us over on YouTube, we have a lot of coaching and things that we offer over there. If there's anything else that you'd like instructions on or some help with, leave something in the comments for us, and we'll see if we can put something together. So until next time, this is Job Plans Made Simple, and we'll see you soon.